Y'all, welcome back.
Yeah.
As promised, y'all, it's the Next Level Living podcast. I'm talking about the number one rated podcast amongst people who love podcasts. Podcasts. I'm talking about your favorite podcast. Yeah, that one. They favorite podcast. It's that type of podcast, y'all. And I'm here with some very special people. And I'm just going to introduce them at this time, y'all. I'm here with my co-host, Kay Hart. I got my boy Jay, but I'm too excited about this episode to even ask how they doing. I know they doing good.
Yeah, for sure.
But I want to make sure that y'all doing good. So we're going to get straight back into the episode. Jeremy, what makes this so special? Actually, if y'all haven't heard part one, you don't even deserve to be here because we can't even bless you to the capacity that God has for you unless you go back to part one. I need you to get the soil and plant the seed for what's sprouting in this episode right now. Jeremy, take us. Wait, they call her the woman king.
Yeah, for sure.
Why is this deep, bro?
So, I'll say this. You have to catch the foundation of the first episode we had last week with Nick. Then you can really appreciate this one. We talked shortly, but I'm going to break it down about her name when we went to South Africa. And he named you, give it to him.
Nkosazana.
Nkosazana, right? That means the woman king. So we had a Zulu elder come and bless us and gave everybody on the team names. And so the woman king is significant because, most people seen the movie starring by Viola Davis, the woman king, who was a mighty warrior, who took care of the people. And so it's from her experience and how amazing she was and how fearless she was going into battle and willing to make the sacrifices and putting her life on the line and putting the needs of everyone else first. Life. All of that energy is what made the king say, okay, you are the woman king. And so, Nick has already been amazing. She's already been phenomenal, a star in her own right, winning. We got America's Got Talent. Like she won Bermuda's Got Talent, like amazing seamstress, does makeup, does face paint, sings like in corporate, CPA, like high-level executive. She's working under CEOs, like phenomenal on probably no jujitsu. You know what I'm saying? Like phenomenal on so many different.
I don't think that's a thing.
She know how to get you. She know how to get you.
I need jujitsu. I know how to get you. I hit you. I got
jujitsu.
Jujitsu. I think you put a D in there because you're a high D.
This next episode.
Jujitsu. I see what you did.
They ain't got no rebuttal for that. No, but seriously though. So we breaking it. We want to get into more of Nick's mind in this episode, Chris.
Yeah.
Like what shapes you, what forms you, like how you are, who you are for the company, and you know what I'm saying, and your plans for the future. So that's what we talking about in this episode. And so in case you missed it, because I didn't say it in this one, she is our chief operating officer. Yeah. So she's second in command across the board. Like she's handling business. She's running. I'm not even on meetings no more. Yeah. I tell her what the vision is. I'm not even really sitting on day-to-day meetings like that. Like that's how pivotal she is to the next level living empire. And so I'll let y'all take it away from there.
Sure. Ooh, yes.
A woman.
Yeah.
Come on, put it back on me. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Our company is ran by powerful, assertive, anointed, strong, God, spirit-filled women. Yeah, go ahead, take it from here.
Yeah. Good. So, okay, I know the last episode we started the introduction about how you became a part of Next Level Living and how the first interview didn't go so well, but then the second interview you came back because you had some coaching, from your husband. To talk to some of the leaders about what that coaching is like. What makes a good leader is being able to be coachable, being able to learn new things, open to knowing what you don't know, and actually constructive feedback. Yep. So let's talk about how important that was for you and how you received this information and how it makes you better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a good student.
Okay.
I've always been a good student, right? So being in a leadership position now, that still serves me well. I don't want people to think, you get to leadership and you stop learning. You don't. I'm constantly learning, and I pride myself on being a good student. You can't give what you don't have, right? So this leadership position requires me to give a lot, right? So I want to have a lot. So I study a lot. I read a lot. Like I prepare, right? I was telling Crump, we would have a conversation coming up in the car. We were listening to At My Lap, but John Maxwell,
Okay.
he has what's called like Maxwell Minutes, right? And one thing that he talked
The
about,
Arthur?
yes.
Okay. That's a dope book.
Yes, for sure. One thing that he talked about was how I summarized it was know, grow, sow.
Okay.
Right? So the first one is know. So you have to, it's like piggybacking off of self-awareness. Like you have to know who you are, right? It's important to be self-aware. Once you know, then you can grow. Right? Then you can maximize, then you can pour into yourself, then you can get all of this knowledge, right? So you know who you are. You're now growing so that you can maximize your potential. And now you sow. Like once you get all of that, what are you doing with it? You keeping it to yourself? No, you want to grow. I want to grow, Deani. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to take all this stuff that I have, all these experiences that have gotten me to this place, and now sow. And now I'll give it back, right? So one of the ways that helps me to do that is through coaching. Like I'm constantly learning. And I have the benefit of having Coach Crump right underneath my roof, right? So even preparing for this leadership position, he was like, "Bae, I'm gonna coach you. I'm gonna put you on the fast track. Make sure you're prepared." Because one thing, shout out to Dewan. I have many coaches, right? Jay is my coach. You know what I mean? Chris is my coach. Dewan is my coach. Like, D even told me, he was like, when I started, we went through everybody's disc assessment. Like, in order for me to lead effectively, I have to.
Y'all did that.
Oh, yeah. Like, I have to know
Who you're dealing with.
who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Right? I need to know Jay's personality and understand how I need to talk to Jay. He's like, "Nick, may you talk to Jay? Short, sweet, to the point." Here's a high D. He doesn't want all the detail because that's how I'm wired. Right? I'm a high S. I'm thinking
excuses.
systems,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So just like boom,
Allergic.
boom, boom, right? Like
Yeah.
allergic.
Right.
Like get right to it for sure. So like all of these things are important, and the coaching helps. So being a good student has blessed me.
Being a good student. Okay. So being a good student means you have to admit that you don't know everything.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
You have to
And be okay with that.
and be okay with that. That's the part I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Because the people that grow the most know where they need growth. Or even if they don't know that they need it, they're open to it and they don't take it as like judgment against them. They just like, okay, well, let's do it. And then you get to another level and then you're able to teach
Yes.
Deani,
Yes.
the next generation.
Yep.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah, because you want to empower.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do everything. One thing we talked about, Jay was like, "Nick, delegate. Master delegation.
Yep.
Don't do everything. Can you do it?
You can.
You can, but should
why
you
would
do
you
it
want
though?
to?
Right?
Well, she will want to do it because she a lot like me. It's just like, I ain't finna make it be great. I can just knock it out. So by the time I go through the process of telling you what to do and how I want it done, I could have saved that breath and just did it myself. And I struggled to be honest, like, come on.
Well.
And I struggled the same with that. But I learned as a leader, it's just like, I'm gonna have to always do that. So I might take a hit this time.
Right.
And take the time and the bandwidth to teach you and then maybe redirect you a few times, but now I ain't got to touch it. And so when we help Nick get to that point, a whole nother level.
Right.
And I love the fact that even in that space, like I tell her, you doing it, it helps you, but it hurts us.
Yeah.
So like you gotta take a hit for us to grow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? As a leader, like that's gonna be your concept. I'm gonna take the hit for us to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. If y'all didn't hear all of that, like basically Crumb just said that she can keep winning by doing these things, but it's going to come at the cost of her team. So her taking that hit, even though that's unnatural for her because she wants to be excellent, she allowed everybody else to go around her by going through those things and giving them an opportunity to grow. That's fire.
And that's what I love about working with Nick, because she get it done.
Yeah.
By any, I'm talking about Dr. Malcolm X, like by any means necessary. And so I find out later, like, man, the team did a great job. And she's like, yes, they did. Then I find out later she did it. But that's what a good leader does. A good leader gives everyone else credit.
Yeah.
And when it goes right and when something goes wrong, they take full responsibility.
Yeah.
And so I saw that in her early on and was like, okay, yeah, she's the truth.
Yeah.
And then just to speak to someone under her, she empowers us to make us confident in something that we're still growing into. Like Don't miss that, y'all.
Right, and I don't even think that she sees it as somebody that's under her. It's just somebody that hasn't gotten to where she is yet. She already knows, okay, you have the potential to be here, but you just don't know everything I know. So let me help you on that journey.
I love that.
And so, yeah, like, and that's one thing about, she never make anybody feel like they report to her.
I love that.
Not never.
Right.
Nah, you might be like, you my boss. Nick is just like, yo, I'm your family.
That's facts. And that's true.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we all love coming to work. All right.
Right.
So-
Okay. So
No. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of
I
coming
told
to
y'all
work,
we was excited. We had to get this in 2 parts. Go ahead.
speaking of coming to work, so you talked about on the last episode how the company you were working for before valued like women and valued like holidays and all of this and stuff for their employees, but like going from that to a company that values the family. Talk to me about that.
So Next Level resonates with me on so many levels. You know, corporate's different and corporate's nice, but corporate's not Next Level. You know what I mean? We praying for meetings. You know, our first value is family first. Like we value prayer. There's so much about, you know, Next Level that is just who I am naturally.
And that's not just a figure of speech, because if your child is sick, they're not going to think twice about why you're not here.
I was
They're
just
gonna
about
be
to say
like,
that.
No, you go handle
You don't get
that.
a point on your
Like,
resume if you got to run out to go do something with your kid right now. Like that what y'all telling me? Like she don't get demerits. What do we used to get in high school?
No, and if she was to say, you know what, I need this week for me and my family, you do that.
Yeah.
Don't you come back until it's done.
Yeah.
And that's special. Companies don't do that.
I wish she would say that. She locked in.
Jeremy said, "I be wishing her."
Wait a minute.
We got a core 4 group chat with me, Tracy, Crump, and Nick.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, 7 o'clock, Crump, have her put her MacBook, put
Down.
her computer down. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut it down. But really, she came into the company and implemented so many changes. And it was refreshing and a little frightful because I'm thinking like, man, I ain't used to like doing things like this. But I'm like,
Right.
but I ain't in it. So you run it how you feel it needs to be ran. And to see the way that she changed so many things with how we do things and cleaned up our system, whole nother level, bro.
I love it.
So, and I love, again, I can't help it, just like her capacity. That so I told her she's a 1% of capacity wise. So that just means base focus is ridiculous.
Say it again. What is it?
My focus.
Oh, got you.
She's a
Okay.
unicorn. So
Okay.
she can focus for like 7 hours straight without eating and drinking.
That's crazy.
Right. So I have to protect her from her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like she don't do anything with Next Level with resentment energy. Like it's all exciting.
Oh my God.
Encourage her to keep focused. So I said, baby, you have a husband. Yeah. You got 2 kids. Yeah. Cut that off. And it's only because she's so excited.
Yeah.
So here's her challenge is, well, how come they can't? I said, baby, focusing for 7 hours without eating and drinking, that's not normal.
Yeah. It's not healthy.
Normal is like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You need a break. So I have to even help her understand, like, don't, be careful when people are not that, because that's actually okay to be not that. It's just that you got to figure out how that's going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, she receives it well.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But then she be like, I just want to answer this.
But a lot of that comes from a place of, and she shared this with me, of not wanting to drop the ball.
Yeah.
She's just like, her biggest fear was like letting Jeremy and Tracy down.
That's it.
Heavy
So
as
when
a
you
head.
got that type of energy, and she's like, then it's like, I love the company and I love what we do.
She's
Yeah.
invested. Yeah.
It don't even feel like it's work.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it does, it's just like, I don't want the ball to get dropped because
Yeah.
they're counting on me.
So with the DISC assessment, what is your high level? S in
Systems.
that systems.
Yeah.
And you said about not wanting to let y'all down. Which one is that? Because that has to do with something.
Yeah.
High I
I'm a
too.
high I.
Okay.
Yeah.
But systems and support.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Systems and support. So somebody that's a high S is like, they love systems. Just tell them exactly what you need them to do and they'll get it done.
But like you said, a high I, which
Yeah.
I relate to,
Right.
and that has to do with the way we're perceived, making sure that we are holding y'all down and making sure that y'all are
Right.
getting what you need from us
Yeah.
too.
And we have 2 different approaches to how we deal with certain challenges because I'm a high I, and a high D. And when I get upset and my D rises, like I be wanting to like
I
deal with certain
hate
things.
your language. I do not appreciate the way you speak. like Jeremy. Like Jeremy.
Okay.
Like
Right.
we are not.
Okay.
We are not about to play.
Can I
like,
say something?
Okay. Yes.
Can I say something?
No, he about to
In the
okay.
disc,
No, that
in
was
the
a lot.
in the disc assessment.
Thank you, Chris.
In the disc assessment, your letters do your letters rise?
Your letters do.
So listen.
Yes,
Listen.
they
So
do.
here's the thing:
Score.
if I'm a high I, under pressure, my I could lower, meaning I don't want to be around as many people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm a high C, that means you're very cautious, very calculated.
True.
Depending on what's happening, your C could rise, and so it's like now I'm even more cautious. Or if your C low significantly, it's like, okay, now I'm being reckless. And so wherever you are in the disc assessment, it rises or lowers. So I could see how you thought it was kind of funny when I said my D rises, but I really meant if I'm more demanding or I'm more dominant.
Don't look at
You need to get your mind. You need to get your mind out the gutter.
It's your eye contact.
That was an innocent
don't
statement.
ever make eye contact and tell me your D is rising. I just don't want to ever look at Jay and be like,
Oh,
Mike,
man.
I told you, I'm focused and my D rises. Whoa, no. I just don't want to hear it.
Listen.
That is not the next level I ever want to come to.
Okay, here we go. Right. So to our supporters and to our listeners, if y'all are not familiar, Mike can be silly at times. We're gonna get right back to the really deep and anointed stuff. Right. But really, sometimes I'm like, I want to just deal with, and I'm like, Nick, let me or if I'm like, Nick, if you handle it like this, she's
Right.
like, okay, Jay, I got it.
Yeah.
She handles it completely differently, but the end result is the same or better.
Better, yeah.
Because she might be preserving relationships.
Exactly.
And so speak to that, Nick, and
Yeah.
your approach to how you view our company, our staff, and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. What I love is Jay and I, we always, most of the time, I was going to say always, but I'm going to say always. We always want the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? We just, we have a different way of getting there, but we always get there.
For sure.
So, I extend people grace.
I love that. Yes, you do.
You know, one of our values, we want to treat people the same way we want to be treated, right? Because people are people.
Yes.
You know, I'm not perfect. You know, like I mess up sometimes too, right? So I want to give people that same grace. You know, I was reading a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And one of the things that he said, it gives you these different principles, right? And one of the principles talks about how, you know, people always have a reason for why they do what they do. Good, bad, or indifferent, they have a reason.
Yeah.
There's, you know, like they can tell you why they did it. You guys saw Jeffrey Dahmer,
I did
Right?
not.
I saw one episode, and that was enough.
but he can tell you why he did what he did. Good, bad, indifferent. Chris Singleton took the stage at one of our masterminds. He said, understand the stance behind people's story. There's always a reason why, right? So my approach is to seek understanding. I might not agree with you, but I do want to understand your why. And when I approach it like that, there's no confrontation. You're not going to get defensive because I'm seeking for understanding. I'm not coming for you. It doesn't feel like I'm coming for you.
Ever.
Right? So the approach is different. It's just received a little bit better. My grandma says you catch more bees with honey.
What'd you say?
You catch more bees with honey.
Yes.
So I lean more on the grace side of the fence.
And also, Jeremy, you're talent. You're the talent. Everyone has to protect the talent. So Nick got to do what she got to do, because if you ever have to work with this person again, they're going to want to work with her because she treated them with respect. Even if she didn't agree, she stepped into her power and how she operates and what she's been gifted with to do that. Right. Now, you could do whatever you want to do because you're anointed. And the thing is, people are always going to want that anointed person. But if Nick do that, she's not you. So it's going to go a whole other way. And so it's important because you are the woman king. So you know how to run. You do strategy. You are the shepherd, so you just be you.
Yeah, and as sweet and as gentle as Nick is, I found out that there is a healthy fear that the company has.
Yeah.
Which is
And
and I'm like, keep that energy.
Yeah.
You know, last year we had to let 3 people go from our company who were really pivotal.
"Oh, yeah."
And she said, oh yeah, but she let them go.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 people, one of the main things is they were zapping my energy. And they weren't good for the culture, primarily because they just wasn't good for me. And honestly, we kept them around way longer than we should have. So we extended a lot of grace, but she's like a protector of our peace. Yes. And so that's something else I have to acknowledge, because, you know, sometimes we can go. But I remember having conversations, and Nick was like, I don't like the way you sound. I don't like the way this person is making you feel. Like, they're not good for you. They're not good for us. We got to do something about it. And me being a shepherd, I'm like, man, we can keep loving them and coaching them, but at some point, it's like, man, people show you who they are. Yeah. Like Crump, there's some vendors we start working with. He's like, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with their skill, their talent. Yeah. It's character. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when people say they're gonna do something by a certain time, okay, ain't nobody perfect, but if you can't do it, a phone call or a text or an email that says, hey, I know I was supposed to do. Like, so when you see that, it's just like, okay, we got to back up.
And that's okay. That is okay, because it's like, why wait for a reason for something to happen? You don't have to. If you know you were not in alignment, then make the change now. We don't got to wait for you to call you out on something. No, that's dodo. Like, why are we doing that? Make the change when you feel like something is shifting and we need to make a transition.
Absolutely.
So something fun I wanted to do real quick, and I guess we don't have that much time before we close out, so I'm going to give us like 2.5 minutes to do this, but I just want y'all, I'm going to put Nick on the spot to just be as dope as she is, and for y'all just to see a little bit of that. Do you still remember like everybody's disc assessment, like when y'all went over it, like different individuals and stuff like that?
Do I remember everything?
Like not everything, but just little bits and pieces of them. Like, okay, do you remember enough about us? I can use us as
You
an
didn't
example.
see mine. Did I do what did I do? I don't think I did one.
Oh, you didn't do one? Okay, well, cool.
I did one, but I don't think you saw it.
Okay, I know some people comment on the episodes that they like. So we can use Ebony, we can use Sophie. Just tell me like people that you love, that people that are viewers have got a chance to see recently, and how you like interact with them and different things,
based
right?
on their
so
assessments.
Sophie is in charge of handling things on the elite speakers level. She's direct with our speakers. Now, y'all know we have the Speakers Academy, which is 3,000, 3,500 just to coming to the Speakers Academy. And then you got the elite, where you I ain't even got to tell you the price. You know the price if you're ready for it, okay? If you don't know about it, it's because you ain't ready, okay? Basically, but she deals with all of that. When you deal with Sophie, who is the widow of our brother Brian, who is a person who is very intentional about everything that she does and her energy that she gives to others and herself. Yeah. How do you approach when you dealing with her? What's your relationship like with Sophie?
Yeah, shout out to Sophie. Sophie is incredible. Just to be able to be around her and witness her strength, and witness her vulnerability. There's so much power in that. Like our team, I mean, I can't say enough about our team, and just being that close to people of that operate from that spirit of excellence. It rubs off on you. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to you, P. But yeah, how do I approach Sophie? I make sure Sophie has a lot of information. Right? So I make sure Sophie has a lot of information. I know what Sophie likes and what Sophie doesn't like. So I don't put her in a position where I know she's going to feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm not going to put P on the spot for something that she's not prepared for. Right? If I'm going to ask Sophie to do something, I'm going to make sure she knows about it. I'm not going to catch her off guard. She's going to have all the information so that she feels prepared, so that she's comfortable. Right?
And that puts her in her best position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
So
then I want to talk about the vision for next year.
Once the person is comfortable, how do you challenge them?
So it depends, because people have different motivators, right? Jay, I've heard you talk about this. Like, some people are motivated by money, right? So if I incentivize with a raise or something that's monetary, that tickles your fancy. But everybody's not motivated by money, right? Some people get encouraged by an opportunity to learn, right? So if I give you some extra responsibility, right? If I tell you I want to send you to a training or to a conference, maybe that tickles your fancy, right? Some people value family, so if it's like, hey, and you mentioned this before too, take a week off. Oh, your son's got a basketball tournament. Yeah, go do that. Like, do what. So it's good to understand, how to communicate people, because people have different communication styles, and what motivates them. It helps us to be better leaders, because I know how to, what's the word, Jay? Like, connect, reach, but just
Challenge.
like
Okay.
so that it's catered to what Mike needs. It's catered to what Crystal needs, because your needs could be different. So as leaders, it's important that we know, we know how to run the play.
Let's take Mike for example. If you wanted Mike to grow as a speaker or anything, let's just say anything, what would your approach be knowing Mike?
I would have a conversation with Mike. I would get on the phone. I would have a conversation. I would understand his heart. Understand what his desires are. Because one thing I don't want to do is assume.
Right, for sure.
So make sure I know what the facts are first. Come up with a plan, and then make sure that plan resonates with you. Mike, let's have a conversation. This is what we've talked about. I've heard your heart. I know you want to do X, Y, and Z. Here are some things that I think will help you get to your goal. What do you think about that? Which one of these things resonates with you the most?
I love that.
Yeah. And just don't talk about, to keep him focused, don't talk about the D-rising.
Oh my!
Because that just messes him up. So Nick, before we wrap it up, I'm just saying, don't talk about Mike. You extra, bro. You're so extra. Look, Nick. Before to wrap it up, I wanna
We was
get you
having a
something
moment,
heavier.
Jay. That was my moment.
Right, but it's her episode. So Nick, what I want to know from you is 2023.
Check.
It's okay. Two things. What are you most looking forward to, and vision wise, how you feel in 2023?
Oh man, 2023 is world changes. It's the jump man year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like we got some big things, some big plans. We are believing God
For sure.
for some things. We have a lot of great things in the works. I can't tell you all everything.
Right.
But this is going to be an incredible year for us. The spirit of excellence always. The next level mantra. The assignment is bigger than us. We do everything with excellence. The assignment's bigger than us. The rewards are uncompromising. No, I gotta say that right. Rewind it back.
Run it back.
Right. So hang on, let me get it right in my mind. Assignment's bigger than us. Standard is uncompromising.
Uncompromising, yeah.
Rewards are endless.
Endless.
So next level
Say that in the
mantra.
mic. Say that in the mic. That was dope.
Make sure they hear you in the back.
Please.
Yeah. So the next level mantra. The assignment is bigger than us. Right. The standard is uncompromising, but the rewards are endless.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are some key dates for people to keep in mind, or key months for people to keep in mind coming up that you know of already?
Key dates to keep in
The
mind.
biggest thing this summer.
Oh yeah, biggest thing this summer is the Next Level Speakers Conference.
Okay.
Hands
Summer.
down. Hands down.
All
Biggest
right, y'all.
thing. Yeah. It's gonna be a movement.
And
That's movement's an
and it's going
understatement.
to be really a 3-day celebration. The first day, the Friday, will be our community block party, kickball tournament, basketball, barbecue. All the different chapters will be there. The
Yes.
Florida
Yes.
chapter, New York chapter, Dallas chapter, LA chapter, Atlanta chapter. So we're going to have that. And then the conference, the next 2 days, is going to be special on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Nick, I want to just say, man, thank you for being who you are.
Yes.
Powerful woman of God, amazing wife and mother and executive. Thank you for trusting and believing in us. Because you could have been like, Jeremy Tracy, you know what I'm saying? Like the company you was with before, like if you look at their books and their numbers compared to ours, like it's a whole nother level. Like how many employees are average did that company have? A couple hundred, couple thousand?
Yes. I mean, they're global, they're everywhere.
All right, so imagine that. Imagine that a company that's got 100,000 employees versus us that's got 20. But when you look at the impact we about to make across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strong 20.
That's a strong. We're going to wrap it up with that right there. Listen, strong
Period.
but mighty.
Yeah.
You're always grateful.
Never settle.
settle.
You already know.
That's it.
I love it.
We see y'all next week.
I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.
So I went from doing okay to now doing $500,000 a year from speaking and writing, and it's been awesome for me thus far.
One gig, $18,000. Jeremy showed me what was possible.
The whole origins of our Next Level Speakers Elite program came from members of the Academy saying, yo, Jeremy, yo, ET, we need more. We want to travel with you guys. We need help with our marketing and our branding and our website. We want to be on stage with you guys. Like, we created this elite program for people who wanted more.
It's not about you are an elite speaker or, you know, you see yourself one day being number one in the world. No, it's you have an affinity for being elite. It's about understanding that excellence is the bare minimum and everything you do has to be elite. That's what the Next Level is about.
I can, I will, I must.
So when I think about our elite community, like, it's not just me and ET's goal to give you game. Like, we're gonna give you game, we're gonna give you resources, we're gonna have masterminds here in Atlanta and in different islands. Like, we're gonna provide you these marketing and branding services. We're gonna do that. But it's also me and ET's responsibility to put you in the best light, to have you looking so good out here where organizations view you as a top professional speaker.
We're going to make sure that your brand looks as good as our brand, and the resources that we have, we're gonna lend those resources to you.
You know, when I look at the full scope of what our Speakers Elite program entails, it's more than just the stages we put you on.
I'm so thankful to the Next Level Elite speaker community for opening up this door. When they say they offer next value and the next level experience, they really do. And so huge thank you to Jeremy and his team for opening up this opportunity to speak here at TEDx in Miami.
It's more than just the photos that our team will capture and produce for you. It's more than just the custom speakers reel we'll create and the website and branding. It's more than that. It's like a high-level inner circle, right? A community of people who are all like-minded, pursuing the next level. Man, in a nutshell, we're really a family.
You know, I spent thousands of dollars trying to find my place. It wasn't until I got here that I found home, and I own it. You can't put a price on what y'all doing here.
I just feel like I finally have a real family.
You know, people ask all the time, you know, okay, I make this type of investment, will I get my money back? Can I just be honest? You owe you, okay? You owe you. So we can't guarantee you engagements. But what we can guarantee you is you will be engaged. So you're gonna have an opportunity to be with me. You're gonna have an opportunity to travel with Jeremy. Like, you are going to literally get an opportunity to shadow us. So you'll be at the gig, you'll meet, you know, the individuals that are responsible, event planners, the CEO or the COO or the director, who's ever there. You're gonna understand philosophically what it takes to do this work. So I don't wanna just give you game in terms of what you need to do to become the best version of yourself as a communicator that you can be. I wanna put you in the game.
You know, what makes our Next Level Speakers Elite program so interesting is we're a very diverse group of people. Some are men and women who are pastors and engineers. Some are teachers, some are entrepreneurs, some are doctor this and doctor that. Many of them are retired professional athletes, but we all have one thing in common. They're all serious about dominating in the speaking space. The only question you gotta ask yourself is, are you ready to go to the next level and become an elite speaker?
You know, don't think about it as spending money. Think about it as an investment. And don't ask yourself, you know, can I afford it? Yo, I want you to say to yourself, I cannot not afford to make the investment and do what I have to do for myself, for my family, and for my legacy.
It's probably one of the realest programs you're going to ever get into. I've been in the other programs. They trash. I tell the truth. They trash. Man, you giving us a chance to do to practice what God gave us on stage? Yo, man, he said it right. It's priceless.
I've never been a part of a program like this that is a one-stop shop. I'm talking about EPKs, your website, the curriculum, all the information that you need, templates, everything that you need to take your speaking game to the next level and do what I was able to do in such a short period of time and go full-time as a motivational speaker doing the thing that I love the most. If you are not a part of this program, you do not know what you're missing. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. I'll see you on the next level.
It's your boy E.T. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to teach you. And more importantly, I can't wait to sit back and watch you blow up and change the world.